we had a good argument last week, and it was pretty close. Came to blows almost. Yep. I've never fought anybody, but I am sure that I would kick my shoes on and run away from you. There's no way I'm getting tangled up with that.
I would kick my shoes off and run after you then. So that's perfect.
No, we were talking about, first of all, we were talking about the HST rebates on new builds.
Yes.
But that sparked a really interesting topic about chickens.
Yeah, so it sparked really just this conversation that first you're wrong about, as simple as that. Let's get into it. So we're not going to sugarcoat it. We talked rural living versus subdivision living.
Yeah.
And we are not on the same side of the coin on that one. Yeah.
I have clients all the time that are like, I want 1,000 acres. I don't even know, like, where, like, after one, you can't see anybody. What's the point?
To not ever see anybody ever. Like, that is the whole, no, but it is, because we did the last podcast, and there was some comment that, you know, we agree on a lot of points, which I think we do. But then, end of the day, you live in a subdivision. I live out in the country. You drive a Tesla. I drive a 3,500 Ram diesel truck. I'm good looking. You are awesome. So that is okay. So that's the
all I heard is that I live a convenient, happy, healthy life and save some dolphins with my car. Okay. No, seriously. So you live on how many acres right now?
I have 9 right now.
9, and you would go bigger.
Yeah.
And what's the purpose?
For sure.
What would you do that for?
I think that the house on the land, I don't want to grow at all. Like the house size, I'm good. Like when I think about a house, I think more to clean, more to upkeep, more that you're going to have to pay for utilities. It just does not interest me. But land, and it starts slow. Okay. So you don't just wake up and want 1,000 acres. You have a push lawnmower and you enjoy cutting your lawn, and you think more lawn, more good. So then you get a riding lawnmower and you start going on that. And then you realize that is a socially acceptable spot to have a beer. And you think, this is great. Can it get much better than this? Right. And then you don't wake up one day and you're just a purely rural person, but then you start thinking about food supply, and you start thinking about, holy smokes, like, what should I do with all this land? Should I grow stuff? And then, you think chickens. Chickens are an easy thing. There's ticks on the land. Need to do. So you buy chickens, and chickens absolutely are the gateway drug to rural living. Once you have them, you don't go back.
This is the marijuana of farm life.
This is it. Like, once you have chickens, they consume everything. Like, chickens to distrust of government are so close to each other, you wouldn't believe it. But it always starts at the chickens. It is you got the chickens, and then you just think, this is great. I don't want to see more people. I just want to see chickens. You get more chickens, less people in your life. And you can, there's so much to it that, that's just, you roll into it. And that's what's happened to me.
I can see that you're beaming. You've started very small.
Yes.
But all I see is more land, more problems.
No.
Subdivisions.
Okay.
And just being close to everything is so convenient. Think of all the time that I save. I'm minutes to the 401. Every showing is 15 minutes for me. I don't have to go anywhere, do anything. I can go visit family, east or west, so easily. Like, I don't know why you would ever need anything more than that.
Well, you said, like, the nail on the head that you just said was people. Yeah. I don't want to pull into my driveway and have to say hi to my neighbors every day. Like, sometimes I want to go home, and, like, we are a very social job. We're social all the time. And sometimes you can't tell me you're not driving home gassed, and you get in your driveway, and there's, I don't know, your neighbor Billy Bob there, and he's been out since 3 o'clock, pulling weeds off his, I don't know, like 2 square feet of lawn, and he wants to strike up a conversation, and you got to sit there and you got to talk to him and yada yada. I don't know.
See, you need a stronger backbone. So it was funny enough, this conversation came up with a friend of my neighbor's who thought that my wife and I are odd people because we just go home, open the garage, get in there. So there's one thing we agree on. And I had my late grandfather used to always, when he was driving home, he would always pretend to fix his, like, what's that? The flip down
visor.
The visor. Yeah. So it looked like he was waving at people as he went down the road the whole way. So he would always just adjust that as he went down. Pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that, and personality-wise, there is different personalities. I will say that there's people who tend to live inside out of their house or outside in. So for some people, they are outside, hot tub, fire pit, barbecue, chickens, and their house is for sleeping, eating, and that's it. And then you have the other side where people have these amazing houses with theater rooms, and they have their gym in there, and they can be inside, like yourself. Like, you guys have so much in your home that you're excited to use your home, whereas our house is, you eat and sleep there, but we want to use the outdoor space and be out in the sunshine and with the chickens.
Crazy. I can go play golf. Like, I do like being outside, but when I have a job, I don't need to go home and work. I have a job.
Oh, it's not work. Oh, Ben. It's not work. It's passion.
No, it's not.
It's passion.
I have passion elsewhere. Okay. I would. So we moved to a new build, and I'm sure that we are going to pave all of the grass someday. It'll just go away.
That's so sad.
It's so fun. Yeah.
No, it's not. That is just where you've gone off wrong. It's passion. It is. You sit on your riding lawnmower, you go to cut your grass, and you got the fresh smell, and the kids are running around, and you got a beer in your hand. Like, that is perfect. You got country music blaring. Like,
you can play riding simulator in your house and sit at home with a beer. You don't have to go outside for that.
That would be my nightmare.
It is really interesting though, because we had, like, through COVID, we had so many people come out of Toronto. And I know you weren't an agent at the time, but you were working in real estate at the time, and you saw the same booms. We had so many people come out of that area, and they would contact me. They'd call me, and they'd go, I want 50 acres.
Yeah.
I would go, okay, I know that you're living in a townhouse with duplexes beside you, but you don't need 50. And they go, well, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want nothing. Okay, I get it. So the grass is greener, and they want to go bigger. I would then start to just ask them, because it happens so often. I would ask them questions like, hey, have you ever been on well and septic before? No. Okay, that's okay. Like, I can teach you about that, and we can show you. And I said, oh, do you have any kids? Yeah, we got 4 kids. Yeah. Do they like Netflix and video games and stuff? Yeah, they love it. Can't get off the screens. So anyways, you don't have any internet out here. Yeah. You can't do any of that stuff. Yeah. The local amenities aren't there. Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay, ask me.
Okay. When was the last time you got Uber Eats or anybody deliver food to you?
Yesterday.
Come on.
Yeah, no, serious.
And it was your wife?
No,
I like that proximity part of it.
Yeah.
You can get it all there. Does that have to be a specific delivery guy or an upcharge for that stuff as well too? So convenience is my passion.
I make my own food. I am the Uber Eats. I got eggs, pulling lettuce out of the garden. Like, we can make our own stuff. We don't need Uber Eats. So we don't, all these conveniences to talk about, that's what the space is for. You don't need it. When you go to a golf course, last night, I was just hitting balls into the woods behind my house. Didn't have to go anywhere. We need food. I grab eggs from the chicken coop. That's dinner. And we have we have well water. Like, we don't pay a dime for that. We just come straight from the ground, and I can fill up my hot tub and not pay anything. It's rural living is convenient because it's all there.
Right. You don't pay anything except you have to install the well, the UV system, the sediment filter, the saltwater system, and then all of the
if you have
sodium treatment and everything
that
else.
might be your experience. If you have a good real estate agent that knows what they're looking for, usually you get that already in the house. But yes, if you're building, you got to install a few things. Sure, wells easy, just find water in the ground. It's not a big deal. So
right.
That's what you tell your
Do
clients.
they still
probably
use
right.
that, like to find a well? They still use that stick?
Yeah,
they do.
The old school people do. My grandfather, he always used to do that for every. Yeah, they got just a piece of metal and then just bends down and they can tell how deep and how much water and how it's flowing. Crazy. And it is wild. It's it's a dying trade now. Yeah. They try and map it, or they just guess a lot of the time. And honestly, in this area, you have to be smart because you do get wells that don't produce very well. Right. So yeah, it's
man, that must be awful.
I wouldn't know. My well's fantastic.
Meanwhile, I've got my witching stick around my subdivision. It's just buzzing the whole time because I don't have to worry.
Do you find you have tasted well water and city water, though?
Yeah.
There is people who will not drink city water when they've grown up on well water. Absolutely. I grew up drinking out of the hose on well water. City water feels like I'm drinking a swimming pool.
Yeah, I do find that most clients will say that to me, that they will not, or they'll do, like if they're used to having some land and they move in town, they won't drink the city water. Yeah. They'll bottle, or they'll filter at least, but they'll usually have another system.
You got to pay for that.
Well, yeah, but you could just drink the good water that comes from the city.
It's not good water though, because it tastes like chlorine. So, but no. Go ahead.
I was just talking, so to get into that bit about the HST part that we were talking about, because there's so much confusion is the right term. The government doesn't even quite know what they're talking about with that and what they're doing with it. But essentially anybody for a year, a 12-month period, who buys a new build, it could be on a rural property, which doesn't make any sense to me, but you could do that. So if you buy a new build for a year, or buy it and then build it, after the year's done, as long as the contract's in that 12-month period, you get the whole 13% HST credit. So I want to backtrack a little bit to explain how that works.
Deal.
So right now, new builds, say a new home costs $700,000. There is tax on that, so you're paying 13%. So what we would see as consumers is not a $700,000 purchase price. We would see whatever 700 times 1.13 is minus $24,000. So there's been a...
And you're saying people get confused. I don't know how people get confused. That line made total sense. I see Ryan nodding along behind the camera. He got that. But continue.
While I'm talking about this, can we pull up a chicken on the thing there?
Yeah, Ryan, can we just get a chicken pulled up here? So
make it look really smart and talking.
Rural living sounds very uncomplicated now, but go ahead.
So you go 1.13 times your actual build cost, and then you subtract 24,000. That comes because there was a credit already for part of the HST, but it was capped at 24,000. So basically, everybody gets that 24 grand off, and that's been like that forever. So you're not paying HST in addition, but you'd pay what, $780 or whatever for the house. But that would include that. If you are now a first-time home buyer, as of last year, they also added another credit, so you would qualify for more funding off of the 8% difference there. So you get that part. Sorry, the 5% PST portion, you get that part covered, which is great. If you're a first-time home buyer, you have to qualify and stuff, and the builder can rebate you that. In addition to the purchase price. So you would go, that's 700 times 1.13, get that number, then you would multiply that by 0.95, so you'd end up with your first-time homebuyer rebate on that, and then you would minus the 24,000. So now you're at, if you're a first-time homebuyer, that's the price that you pay. The enhanced HST rebate is all of it. So you get the full 13% off. So your purchase price is $700,000. Yeah, who gets it? That's the hard part.
Yes.
So it's reached that royal essential, or that it's been passed, but they need to figure out who can apply for it and how you get that. So right now, if you bought a house today and it closed in a year or whatever, or 5 years really, then you would get that 13% off, but you would have to apply for the rebate.
Right.
Hopefully in the future, the builder can just apply for the rebate and you get it as a credit right away, and then the builder gets it later.
Yeah, and I think perfectly you, just showed value as a real estate agent, because going into this, you represent Frontier and you've been working with them, and would you say all the builders are doing it the same across the board? Also, sorry, when you were talking, you know that Zach Galifianakis meme where he's like, there's numbers floating around his head and he's staring off at the distance? I was staring at you and I just saw that. So
I felt like I was in the middle of that too.
So Ryan, if you could pull that up just so that people know what I'm talking about, make sure that. But yeah, but you're right. It's so a lot of numbers.
The builders are not doing it all the same right now. So I'll leave that part at that, because it is widespread there.
Yes.
Frontier Homes, which I do represent gladly, is obviously the best builder in the area, and also Brad Newbit is he was voted #1 nicest guy in the Quinte area.
Yeah, I think I saw that
just by me.
You,
but yeah.
I think I did see
shout
that.
out to Brad.
I thought I was the runner-up. I guess didn't really get a notification.
I think it switches by the day.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were going to vote for me, but yeah, Brad's cool too.
So he's always built homes that he would live in, is his motto. And so a lot of builders' standards, or a lot of builders' upgrades are our standards. So pot lights throughout, no carpet, under cabinet lighting, that type of thing, nicer trim, doors, everything is all included in our pricing as well too, to compare to everybody else, which is great. But yeah, I forget your question now.
No, I was just asking if all of the builders were on the same, and that's exactly it. It's important to have an agent who knows what they're talking about, because you go from different builders. They all have different formulas right now. Everybody's taking different levels of risk. Buyers are willing to take different level of risk, and you have to really know all that before, you go forward with anything like that. So it is important. I have seen Frontier's work. Brad does do a fantastic job just coming from a building perspective. Luckily, we have some good builders, including Brad in the area, who live in the area, build in the area, know they're going to cross paths at the grocery store with people they build houses for, and they care. But there also is things to watch out for, and that's another reason that having an agent who knows new home builds, and this is it's a misconception a little bit, I think, that people think new is good no matter what, no matter who builds it. Just because it's new, it's good, right? And it is this thing where, why would I buy older when I can just buy and know? But new is not always good.
It's not. Ask anybody in Young's Cove subdivision. So you're totally right. We are very fortunate. Brad is the best. Frontier is the best. But totally unbiased opinion. But everybody here, all the builders are fantastic. Yeah. They really, really are. And we saw that when we have a Toronto builder come here, where they have their Toronto trades coming in, and it's very, very different in terms of build quality and standard. And yes, there's a Terran warranty, but do you want to be making claims all the time? Here there's a Terran warranty, but the builders just take care of it, which is great, because nobody wants the claims. Everybody, like you said, in the grocery store, which is much closer to me than it is to you. Because
mine's in my backyard, but yeah.
But yeah.
No, it's true. And it is our area. A lot of people who've been here have grown up here. I grew up here, and you don't realize what a unique area we do have. The fact that within 30 minutes, you could probably find a 150-acre farm, the same that you could find a subdivision. If you think about a Toronto agent who works, in Mississauga, they know that market in town. They don't know farms. They don't know, there's just none of that there. Then you have other places that are fully rural, and all they know is that. They don't know subdivision at all. So our agents in this area kind of have to have an idea of both. Because you've done it. You could sell a subdivision home at lunchtime, and the next day have to sell a farm, and they have totally different things to look at. We've talked about well and septic and water testing and stuff that you have to look for on rural properties and subdivision. sometimes there's covenants and stuff for how you can park and what you can have in your driveway and what color your garage door has to be. So it varies big time.
You're totally right. In the morning, I could be showing a townhouse, which you cannot park a boat in your driveway there because it obstructs the view, to a corner lot where you can't put your fence up, to having to know how a well water system works. It was funny. As you were talking, I was thinking of two things. Is one, which if anybody wants to hear more about power sales in the future, please just comment and we can put an episode out about that. But I had a Toronto lawyer call me to evaluate a power sale, and I couldn't get access because the person was out or in or fighting or whatever, would shoot me on site. I don't know, but it was out in the country, and so they just wanted me to go by an aerial shot. They didn't know the bedroom count. They didn't know nothing about it. They didn't know what it looked like on the inside. I had no pictures to go off of. Just 2 acres out. I had the Google Street View, and I didn't want to drive past it because it was dangerous. And they were like, just tell me the approximate price. I can't. I don't know what it looks like inside. They're like, well, just use the comparables. I understand that in the bigger city centers, and we're picking up Toronto here, but I don't mean it that way, but in the bigger city centers, like a townhouse is a townhouse is a townhouse, and you kind of judge it by geographical location. But like, this is hugely different and massive different values here. Like, we could be talking a $300,000 property or a $1.3 million property out here. Like, I have no idea what is inside and what the land is and the yield. And like, there's so much different soil types and has everything been upkept and stuff. So
and a lot of the time, who is the end buyer? You know that a townhouse or a subdivision home, tends to have, vary, but I had a listing that was up and it was a 3,000 square foot home, but had 30 acres, and you could farm part of it, but then also there was a horse pen on part of it, but then also, is an equestrian going to buy this? Is it that a family's going to buy this as a homestead? Is it that it's going to be an Airbnb for local golfers in the area? The end user, and a lot of time you don't know. You try and market to the right people and see who's going to come and look at a place like that. But sometimes you don't know who's going to step forward and pick up these places. You meet interesting people along the way that way too.
You do.
So, but you're never sure. You kind of, and the homeowner wants to know, like, who is the end user, and you're like, it could be any of these people, and we're just going to see who shows up. And
huge wide array, which is why when I list a property too, is that I will check with the city for zoning and permitted uses and make sure that that's attached to the listing. So a lot of agents may be traveling, may not know our area or our zoning codes or our maps and stuff. So it creates a barrier where they don't know where to get access to the information. So when I list a house, I like to provide it for them. If the buying agent looks really good in front of their client, the client will feel comfortable buying the house as opposed to the opposite way. So even though I may be doing a large chunk of their job for them by listing all of the things you can do there, I think it's important and a good way to be able to bridge that gap so that people feel comfortable buying that house. But yeah, you could do like the different levels of agriculture and what kind of chickens you could have. Like the chickens are the ones with the hooves, right?
Four legs, huge, and they go neigh. Those are chickens. So I have a bunch of those.
Joelle is the owner of Century 21. I was 6 brands from Kingston to Trenton and north and south there, and big farmer. And she was talking to me about Highlands.
Highland cows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cows. Yeah. She goes,
big furry chickens with horns. No, those are called cows.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but so I mean, it's nice to have people who are in the brokerage and know what they're talking about and what's important in life, and to know that they should own land, and that's the end goal of all of this. And that
you're telling me that you pee off your back deck.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's like one of the huge benefits. Yeah. For now.
Yeah.
I could do it forever. I think there's only a certain amount of times you could do it before you're in trouble.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. So. it was interesting because I feel like I was sitting around the table with a lot of realtors who were like, there's a couple of realtors I feel like that we talked to that all live in subdivisions.
Yes.
So then maybe thought I was the odd one out and stuff like that. But then, you start talking to, Joel and them, and they got, it's different strokes for different folks. And it doesn't mean that you can't put yourself in the shoes of a buyer. Like if somebody's buying a subdivision home, I can understand that. Though Absolutely. It's not the same. It's the same as just because you look at a wall in a house and it's purple, doesn't mean that that person may love purple and you may not, and that's okay. But we're able to sell both of them. It's just a personal preference.
Absolutely. We're just talking about what we like personally. But even with townhouses in particular here, people understand that there's easements. How do they work? Well, if you've got a row of, say, 4 townhouses, for example, different builders do it different ways, but sometimes you got 4 in a row, 2 end units, 2 middle units, and one of the end units is more expensive than the other end unit. Same floor plan. The reason is that the one on the left-hand side, we'll say in this case, has the easement for the last 2 feet for the middle units to go cut their grass.
Right.
So this guy can put up a full fence all the way to the back, and this guy has to put a door in or go or cut it 2 feet short so everybody can have access. And again, there's different ways to do that. You can have easements over both, and then the middle 2 units don't have any easements, so they get to elevate the price. Sidewalks make a big difference in price as well too. So if you're on the right-hand side where the sidewalk is in front of you, now parking is limited. So there's lots to consider when buying in a subdivision or in town for sure. But yeah.
So then, okay, we'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Still
with you?
be friends. Yeah, it's okay. We'll move forward from this. I think. I will get you fresh eggs, and you'll provide me, I don't know, something that you get from living in town or whatever. But
what can I bring you instead? I'll bring you McDonald's.
Okay, you can Uber Eats for me. Perfect. That's the person I'm going to call. Okay. Aside from it's a good debate, and you know what? There's so many different people who like different things, and it's our job to find the right thing for every person. Now, podcast wise, since we've done 1 episode and we feel that we had pretty good feedback, I was excited. We appreciate everybody who's watched. It's been great. It's a lot of fun for us to do, and you talk about life, talk about real estate, but we're also curious about what type of topics people are interested in, if they like the real estate portion, kind of just getting some more feedback, because we talk to each other every day, and we do, so we should make sure other people actually want to listen to what we're saying.
Well, that's it. So right now we're just talking about things that we usually talk about through the week, but you're totally right. If we get some input on what you want to know, is power sales or different types of things that way too, and how things work, mortgages, chat about it all. Guests. Or we could just continue to have a chat. Ooh, guests. We could do guests.
I think yes.
Who should we do first, and why should it be Superman?
I'm here, so I don't quite understand what the question is.
Speaking of Superman, you know what I need, like, constantly now hanging out with you is like regular physiotherapy. The amount that, like, my neck is always just so bent out of shape looking up at you.
I have a lot of people look up to me. I know people say, where does your confidence come from? I say, almost everyone looks up to me. Yeah. Can you say the same? Like, it's, it's a thing for sure. So, I don't know guests who would be good, but if anybody has any good suggestions, but I think, it's top of mind. I'm thinking like, maybe a mortgage broker would be somebody good. Another agent who specializes in something would be good. Joel can come and talk about the Highland cows, and maybe you could learn that chickens don't have hooves. And
why don't I just sit that one out, and you could have a
deal? Guest. Yeah, that would be a long podcast. That'd be great, actually. So, so we're trying to figure it out, but we're having fun along the way. So
that's good. Well, I'll see you next month.
Pew pew.